Hi, gorgeous lights. Welcome to a impromptu reading for the planet. And I am using tarot cards because I don't usually, but there's an illumination that actually comes through tarot. It's quite good for people that are actually just really visual and they like seeing things. So, without further ado, let's actually lay some cards out. I am, just to let you know, using the Light Seers tarot deck, which is really, really pretty. So this is a reading for Gaia, our planet, humanity, for the next month. God, and honestly, cards are getting thrown everywhere, so I'm considering that they actually want me to start, which is absolutely fine. So I'm just going to lay the cards out. I'm just doing it at the same time. We're entering a very interesting time frame because we have been under the same planetary alignment, well, not same planetary alignment, we've been under energetic alignment of basically 2022, and as we're entering into March and April energy, it's kind of like there's some illusions being a little bit illuminated, if you like, because we're into really real energy. We've got Saturn also coming back into play, which is kind of like a firm ruler. That's probably the best way that I can actually describe that. So going to actually see what the cards actually say. So with Saturn coming into conjunction, last time it came into conjunction was with another planet was it's coming into Pisces, I think, if I remember rightly, but it came into conjunction with in March 2020. So it's going to be interesting to see what shows up in this alignment. There's two there. Ooh, final outcome. Okay, so I find it completely and utterly ironic that on the bottom of the deck we're doing a reading for Gaia and it's a world card. So really, really interesting. So for this month, where is our planet right at the moment? And we have the gorgeous, sorry, trying to get rid of the Eight of Swords. So kind of thinking that we're burdened, and understand this, I'm not a tarot reader, don't profess to be a tarot reader, but images, I'm very good with images, and images also come off the cards as well, and I do feel like it's looking, we've got a person here, and we've got a person here, the person looking upwards, and the person looking tied with crows flying all the way around their head. So it's giving me completely the feeling of division, but also this feeling of division in itself, but also wanting answers. This is all the things that go around their head. So the planet seems to be actually wanting us to look at the decisions that we're making on a daily basis, because don't forget we're doing the reading for the planet, but we're also doing it for humanity as well. And so we also have it crossed, because I'm doing a Celtic cross, crossed with the Seven of Swords, which is also a card of telling me that it's to do with betrayals. It's to do with, we talk about at the moment with the energy that illusions are dropping, and the sun is highlighting on the sense of betrayal or sense of running away or not taking accountability that's actually going on right at the moment as well. And I do feel, look, we're in relationship energy on the planet. I have said this, and we're having to look at our relationships, the truth of our relationships, how we deal with the relationships. Everybody's kind of argumentative, kind of running away from the issues, divided in themselves about what they actually want to do and how they want to do it. Sorry, I'm trying to get rid of that reflection. And how they want to do it. So pretty much that's where we're sitting right at the moment as well. And before you run in and go, that's all negative, at the end of the day, these are illuminations. They're particularly drawing me towards the sun up here, and being able to actually understand that we need to seek answers to our current problems both for the planet and for ourselves in ways that have maybe yet to be explored. So they're really, really indicative around this as well. And at the bottom of the Celtic cross, we have the Page of Cups, which is basically a card that says if we dream it, if we believe it, then actually pigs might fly or anything is actually possible. So it's ideas, it's concepts. Now I do know that these ideas and concepts for humanity are going to start with ourselves. It's a very, very young energy, it's a very thoughtful energy, it's very much around what we can actually bring to the table as well. So, and look, in the card, I'm not too sure if you can see it, but all things are radiating off the people. So it's not pie in the sky, we are actually into ideas and concepts as collective consciousness as well. So the passing influence is looking at the Empress card, but they've said it's actually looking at the world as actually a degree of separation from ourselves, when the world and us is actually completely connected. And I think with the events over the last couple of years, we've seen that while we have a degree of separation with each country, we actually do need to be looking at as the world as part of ourselves. So we're kind of getting initially we're kind of getting a bit of a tune up here to be in recognition of how we are together and where we work together as well. Now the crowning part of the reading for humanity, for Gaia, is walking away from old belief structures, old systems that don't serve us, leaving them behind and heading towards new opportunities, more positivity, brighter future as well. But there's a degree of independence around this card that's crowning the whole reading, which is about actually keeping an eye on the sun. Again, the sun has come up again and heading into that positivity with a lighter feeling than has been with all the heaviness and all the decisions and betrayals and all sorts of things where we see that there's rules and things that actually work against us as well. So moving forward, we have the ability, this is the Queen of Cups, to actually work in conjunction with our understanding, with the universe, it's all highlighted up here, to actually come into our own understanding where we actually, the Queen of Cups exemplifies fairness. So we need to actually come into fairness with how do we actually deal with each other, understanding they're saying that we are all in this together. So it's looking like right at the moment that March is a little bit of a blended month. Is going to be our decisions whether we, as a planet, whether we decide to actually sit in this turmoil, this mental turmoil, or whether we actually come into recognition that as a collective that we can actually work together to find that there's actually more healthier solutions than seems to be the current trajectory that we're actually on as well. We seem to forget as humanity we can make a tremendous difference as well. So where we see ourselves right at the moment is that where, by the looks of things, humanity is actually looking at, because a Hierophant actually is a card of conventionality, but it's a staircase. We're actually ascending up, and we're actually climbing up, or trying to climb up, to more wisdom and to more understanding. And this only comes with questioning the way that we've done things, questioning how we actually move forward, and collective consciousness is pulling up. Now, that's into also the card at the bottom. There was two of them that came out as a temperance card, as a universal flow as well. And this is reminding us that the planet is in cycles and patterns, but it is at the moment and through the month of March in a rapid fire elevation for us to get back to seeing the big picture, to understanding that we need to do all things in balance, and we need to start looking at how we move forward, very much so with the Hierophant, in a way that maybe might have some conventionality but also opens up to the wonder of what we could actually do as well. There is lots of choices ahead as well. So the card that I've just gone to as well is how we actually see it. And we actually have the death card, but it's death and rebirth. So it comes down to understanding that we need to actually look at some of the old ways that are not serving us and become more inventive into rebirthing into a new way of doing things. This is doubly showing me that this is going to be a bit of a challenge for humanity as we sit on a divide between this is the way that we've always done things and the changes and illuminations that are going to start to come through. Now, it's actually a really, really cool month, but it is a month of, oh, look at that over there, and oh, look at that over there, as there seems to be some global understandings and pushes from the actual planet to get us to see what is truthfully important. So as we have illusions that actually appear in things that we have been told or as a collective has been actually shared with by governments and all those sorts of things, and institutes that are supposed to look after us, and some illuminations come thick and fast that we are not being looked after, and there is crises where we feel let down and not supported, all of those sorts of things, then we have to actually understand we have no choice but for old ways to die off and new ways of doing things to actually be investigated as well. The planet is really, really pushing us to actually understand that this is time for our growth as well, and we have a lot of communication around this and understanding through communication without blame, they're just saying to me as well, because this Eight of Wands are saying it's very, very important to understand at this period of time that it is a time for communicating ways forward, not battling with old ways that do not serve us anymore, but actually stepping forward into ownership of where we're actually going. And the planet is trying to do this, and humanity is kind of right enmeshed in all of this as well. So it seems to be for the wish for the planet is that we actually start working better together, and you know the final outcome is the Five of Cups, which we have a choice to look at. You know, we've got this sitting right on death and rebirth, and then we've got a choice of where we actually are ending the month of March. We're kind of looking at everything that has been and wishing things would be actually different. Now, and there's an opportunity within it. There is always an opportunity within absolutely everything, because the past has already happened. And don't forget, at the bottom of the deck was the world. So things change in cycles and patterns and understanding, and we have a choice, or the planet is showing us that we actually have choices about how we do things going forward. And I want to be very clear about that, as people seem to understand that this is the way that we've always done things and there is no choice. There's a massive amount of choice. You're a population of about 7 billion on the planet, working with the planet, and you do have a decision about how you actually choose to do things as well. And there seems to be the fact that there's illuminations coming all the way through March, to do with illusions dropping away, truthfulness coming out. I keep saying global headlines and discoveries, and a push towards you need to do this, but by the same token you push towards doing this, then you have to understand that there's a counterbalance to whatever push that there actually is. And I will use an example. If you go to the supermarket and you think, gosh, that food is really, really expensive, it must be really scarce because it's really expensive and I can't afford that, then please understand this, that food is going to waste, because nobody's buying it because it's expensive. It doesn't magically disappear, it gets wasted. Please don't tell me that there's a scarcity to do with food when we have an issue where food is being priced so ridiculously that you cannot afford it, and that food is going to waste, because literally that is actually what's happening as well. Now we have a choice to look at this new going forward as the Fool card, as the adventure that it is to step into a higher understanding and start to actually question where we're actually going with the planet and what we actually want to achieve with the planet. And we need to understand that it is not King of Pentacles. It is not particularly looking to rulers who actually own the money and dictate whatever is actually going on, but understanding they're telling me that any change starts within, that you are your own ruler of your current world, and your current world is yourself. Once you start to actually celebrate who you actually are and put yourself into understanding that you're way more powerful and add to the collective than those that actually sit in a seat of power and misuse, can actually understand that in the growing shift of compassion and empathy and understanding and questioning what is actually happening with our beautiful world that we're actually a part of, that there is opportunities here for everyone to grow in wisdom and understanding. So it's an interesting month for the month of March, incredibly interesting, and at a personal level, because we are actually in relationship energy right at the moment, there's a need for you to also understand that there will be things that actually trigger you in your own small world before you say, I can't do very much, I'm only one person. Your energy that you add to the collective consciousness by your questioning, by you actually saying, no, I want to do some things different. So the journey of discovery that you're on for yourself in this energy means that you have a huge potential to actually understand that you bring way more to the collective consciousness than what you realise. And for a dozen people that can actually stop and say, I want to send love and harmony and empathy to the planet while I change things in my own world to a more positive nature, please understand that powerfulness of yourself goes a great deal towards stopping any internal conflict that you actually have, and external conflict as well. So the growth that you actually have, it isn't about waiting until the next wave comes in. It's about actually preparing and knowing that you will actually be ahead of the 8 ball with the choosing that you choose to do on a daily basis, whether you're growing your own food, whether you're conserving power, whether you're actually looking after your family dynamics and making a plan rather than just ignoring it and hoping it goes away. And understand that you make a really, really big difference on the planet just with a change in mindset as well. So it's going to get interesting. It'll be a push me pull you month by the looks of things for March, and hidden truths are telling me that are going to come to light as well. So there is a real need here for us to understand that we are part of a bigger picture, and while there may be some big things going on around the world, it's important to step back and say, what do I actually bring to the table for the planet right at the moment, for humanity and for myself, because you're a part of all of it, and what differences do I actually need to make for me so I feel like I am co-contributing and co-collaborating with the universe at this time. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of insight on what's actually going on the planet. We're certainly in this together. It is certainly, Spirit is very, very clear that there isn't a time for feeling fearful of the future, reading into agendas or anything like that, but having a clear plan about how you actually turn up on a daily basis and understanding the creativity and the wisdom that you actually bring to the table. So it's going to get interesting. I hope you have enjoyed this reading for the planet, and take care of you, and make sure and remember this: human beings are the most creative beings on the planet, and we need to stop being reactively creative, waiting for a drama and then doing something, but actually be proactively creative about how we want to look after ourselves, each other and the planet. Take care of you.